Hujambo YouTube. As you probably are well aware of, Kanye West, aka Kanye Mess, I like to refer to him as, is catching all sorts of hell about the controversial remarks he made regarding slavery. Talking about slavery was a choice. I had to think about what he said for a minute. Was slavery a choice? At first, when I first heard about it, I said, well, there he go again on some foolishness. But then I had to really think about it. I had to really think about it and think about it and think about it some more. And you know what? At first, I hate to say this, because I never really agree with anything he says or does. But the more I thought about it, you know what? I agree with him. I agree with him. Now, I don't agree that or believe that our ancestors voluntarily got on those slave ships in West Africa. I don't agree with that. I believe they were taken by violence and by force. But once our ancestors landed here on American soil, and once they gone through the processes of slavery, what made them remain slaves? I mean, they knew that slavery was abusive. They knew that their white oppressors didn't mean them any good. They worked them from sun up to sundown, whipped the hell out of them each and every day on a daily basis. My ancestors faced torture on those plantations. But why did they continue to allow themselves to be subjugated towards that torture and terror? I had to think about that too, because for those of you who know history, black people weren't the first people that they tried to enslave. We weren't. The first people that the settlers tried to enslave were the so-called Indians. That's the first people they tried to enslave. Do your research if you don't believe me. They weren't going for it. They was basically like, you know what? Before we allow you to make us slaves, and make us kiss y'all asses, we'll die first. We would die first. We would rather die on our feet than live on our knees. That's basically what the red man told him. You're going to have to kill us. Straight up. So that didn't work out. Then, when that didn't work out, they turned towards their own, quote unquote, poor white trash. And that didn't work either because they didn't have the strength or the endurance for slavery. So that didn't work either. So once they found out that trying to enslave the red man wouldn't work, once they found out that trying to enslave their own would not work, that's when they turned towards black labor in West Africa. They brought our ancestors over here to build them a nation because they were too lazy or didn't have the know-how or the skill to do it themselves. And so they brought our ancestors over here to do it for them. What I'm saying is this. Once they realized what the hell was going on, I'm talking about my ancestors, why continue to do it? I mean, if you look back in history and look back on those plantations, our ancestors far outnumbered the white oppressors and the families owning slaves. We far outnumbered them. There's way more black people on those plantations than white people. Why didn't we kill them? Why didn't we fight for our freedom? Now, mind you, you had some slave revolts, and a lot of our ancestors did fight back, but not enough. Not enough. Not enough. You talking about you got a family of 4, as far as the families that own slaves, you might maybe 4 or 5, give or take, and you got 10, 15 slaves on your plantation, and those 10, 15 slaves couldn't work up the nerve to take their freedom. Because as far as I'm concerned, hell, I couldn't have been no slave. I wouldn't have made it. I would not have made it. I would much prefer death than to go through that shit. My thing is, how many more of our ancestors felt that way or had that in their heart? Obviously not enough, because our ancestors endured it. Then you got some people might say, you know what, that's a good thing that our ancestors didn't do that, because if they did, we wouldn't be here right now. So I guess if you want to look at it from that perspective, sure. But the hell with that, man. You know what? My hat's off to my red brothers and sisters. They like, nope. Hell no. We ain't going. We'll shed every drop of red Indian blood on the ground before we be your slaves and kiss y'all's asses. We will do it. And I'll give you another example. For those history aficionados that are watching my video, look at the Haitian revolt, the Haitian Revolution. I did a video talking about the Haitian Revolution a while back. Napoleon Bonaparte had the strongest military in the world. They were the ultimate superpower at this particular time. The ultimate superpower. They went to France throwing their weight around. And you had brothers like Toussaint Overshaw, Jean-Jacques Dessalines. They weren't taking that shit. They weren't. They organized an army down there in Haiti that kicked Napoleon's ass. I'm talking about superpower. These brothers kicked their asses out of Haiti. And as a result of them kicking them out of Haiti and taking their freedom, France went bankrupt. That's the reason why France had to sell the Louisiana Purchase to the United States, because they needed money to, get themselves back together. The Haitian Revolution. Now, those brothers can do that in Haiti. What was wrong with the American black man? What was wrong with him? Me personally, I might catch some backlash for saying this. I really don't give a fuck. I'm going to say it anyway. The black man, for the most part, I mean, you had some brothers out there that, hey, they didn't give a fuck. They was going to do what they had to do to protect themselves and their families and their future. But for the most part, the black man then, as is now, the American black man, we some goddamn cowards. We see all the injustice that's going on in our community, all the injustice that's being perpetrated on us around the world, and we don't do shit. But them brothers from them other countries, they weren't taking that. Albeit Haiti. So, if those brothers and sisters down there in Haiti could stand up to a superpower and run them out of the country with their tails between their legs, refusing to be anybody's slave, refusing to have anybody's foot on their neck, refusing to bow down to anybody. If they could do that, what was wrong with our brothers and sisters here in America? You don't think the Haitians knew what they could be facing, or knew the penalties or the repercussions for fighting back? You don't think they knew that? They knew what they faced. Because best believe they lynched us everywhere. Not just here in America. They knew exactly what the penalty would be for fighting back. But you know what? They did it anyway. Because they would rather down their feet than to live on their knees any day. And have anybody be subject or be subject to anybody. Or any other man's will. That's why they did what they did. So again, if you ask, was slavery a choice? As much as I hate to be on Kanye Mess's side, if you look back at history and look back at all the ones that did fight back, the Haitians, the red man, I would say, yeah. I hate to admit it, but I have to say the brother's right. Once again, at what cost would it have been to fight back? You know, it is what it is. But let me ask you all something, especially my brothers and sisters that's watching this video. Would you rather be a slave? Would you rather work from sun up to sundown for nothing? And walking on eggshells all day, every day, fearing that you may do something wrong to anger your oppressor. So now you might get your ass whipped or worse. Could you live like that? Knowing that any day, any minute, any moment that your life could be taken from you at the snap of a finger. Because that white man over there had a problem with something you did or didn't do. Would you rather live like that? Or would you rather, you know what? Buck up, man up, woman up, and say, fuck it. I ain't gonna live like this no more. By hook or by crook, somebody's dying today. Me or them or both of us. Or a bunch of us. We ain't putting up or tolerating this bullshit no more. What would you do in that situation, black man or black woman? What would you do? What would you do? Would you do that all day, every day for the rest of your life? Or would you just say, fuck it? Let me know your feelings in the comment section. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Quite heavy. Peace.